Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. First of all, thank you for the opportunity given to us to introduce our group. We are from Group 5, which consists of 3 members of Group 5, including me, Reski Ananda Muhammadiyah M, Stefan Datu Arung, and Ufia Ananda Rahman. We will discuss the material about the characteristic of effective EFL teachers from the perspective of Turkish EFL learners. Before that, let's see members' visual.
Alright guys, I will explain for the material, introduction, and method. Let's get started. First is introduction. It is commonly accepted that there are numerous hindrances in the world of education. A lot of reasons for these impediments may be identified as they have a clear effect on the learning and on the teaching process. For example, students might find the lesson too difficult to be successful. The materials for the lesson might be poor in quality, or students may not be aware of the reason to study English. The process of teaching a language consists of several components, and teachers appear as the most essential components of this process. In order to achieve their teaching aims, teachers should address several issues in the classroom and find viable solutions to them. This could be regarded as an essential characteristic of an effective teacher. However, there should be some more characteristics that make a teacher effective. In addition, being aware of the expectation of Turkish EFL learners related to the characteristic of an effective EFL teacher may contribute to the design of more effective EFL teaching environments. 1.1 Characteristic of an effective language teacher. The characteristic of an effective teacher may be different for each learner. Although there are several different factors, some are common. In one of the related studies, for example, Cheung 2006 explained that effective teachers tend to remain in their post for longer periods of time, spend more time on teaching and curricular planning, be enthusiastic to teach, be sensitive towards their students' needs, be tolerant towards their student mistakes and errors, work with problem students for longer periods of time, and the last is participate in and contribute to the learning experiences of their students. Cheung's characteristics reflect the perception of a modern EFL teacher in accordance with the post-method era. Yet, it is possible to enlarge this list by adding some more elements. For instance, Bro's 1996 study might be beneficial in adding new components. According to Bros, an effective teacher should be able to organize, explain, and clarify instruction, be knowledgeable in target language, raise and sustain interest and motivation among students, be fair to students by showing neither favoritism nor prejudice, and the last is be constantly available for students. Apart from these two lists of common expectations, Petty's 1997 provides 3 major qualities for an expert teacher. First, an effective teacher's paramount feature is to highlight the importance of being moral and well-informed apart from being competent. The second criterion indicates that the teacher should constantly attempt to detect new ways of professionally enhancing himself in accordance with his or her previous experience. Lastly, the third criterion is that the teacher must be personally committed to the progress of his or her profession. In accordance with humanistic approaches, Richards 2002 provides some additional characteristics for effective teachers. First, in his view, creating a friendly classroom atmosphere. The second, planning different kinds of learning activities and using educational materials represent an effective teacher's professional duties. The third, moreover, they should also be aware of planning their lesson and classroom in order to decrease their students' anxiety, this way encouraging them to speak in English. As a conclusion, to the aforementioned information with reference to existing block of literature, there are several features of an effective language teacher that converge from different perspectives.
The second is method.
In order to find out how foreign language learners perceive the qualities of an effective foreign language teacher, using 1999 inventory was applied. It constituted of a total number of 30 items in 3 different sections. There were 10 items in each section. The first section of the inventory dealt with the personal qualities of teachers, the second one with the professional qualities, the third one with the pedagogical qualities. All the items in each section were rated on a 4-point Likert scale. First, not important, second, important, third, very important, and the fourth, it is a must. Since the participant proficiency was inadequate for answering the inventory items in English, it was translated into Turkish, the native language of the researchers. Afterwards, back translation was completed. In order to guarantee that there was no change in the meaning the translated inventory. The original inventory was reliable since Cronbach's alpha coefficient alpha 87/30 items. Then by the aid of this inventory, the collected data proved reliable. 2.1 Setting. The inventory was delivered to the 6th grade students at Sinasi Fevigan Bayraktar Secondary School and Turgut Reis Secondary School in Çanakkale, Turkey in November 2014. It was also delivered to the 12th grade students at İskilip Anatolian High School in Çorum and Biga Atatürk Anatolian High School in Çanakkale in November 2014. All the participants were Turkish EFL learners. 2.2 Participants. A total number of 100 students agreed to answer the statement in the inventory. There were 47 male and 53 female participants in total, and their age ranged from 12 to 18. Table 1 presents the details regarding the participant of the study. 2.3 Data collection. The participants were all informed about the aims of the present study, and the students who agreed to participate were delivered a hard copy of the questionnaire. Before answering the question, they were also informed about the number of questions in the inventory and the approximate duration of the answer. The inventory was delivered during a regular school day with the aid of their English teacher EFL. 2.4 Limitation of study. Since the study involved a limited number of participants, the result might not be generalized. In addition, the study collected all the data only by means of a written inventory. 2.5 Data analysis. The data collected through the questionnaire was entered into a computer through SPSS, Statistical Package for Social Sciences version 22. The data was analyzed by descriptive statistic, correlation, and independent sample t-tests.
Okay guys, I will continue from the previous material, namely part 3, about findings. So, let's get started. The following are the results of the student questionnaire describing the qualities of effective teachers in accordance with the research questions of the study. Research question 1. Which characteristic do the 6th graders regard to be the most important ones in the identification of an effective teacher? The main scores relate to the characteristics of an effective teacher retrieved from the answer of the 6th graders are present in Table 2. Look at the table. Table 2 presents the participant score in a descending order. According to the table, the highest values were attained to the characteristics of used technology, M 3.70, and teach both formal and informal English, M 3.48, while the low's values were attached to the characteristics of has lived in foreign country, M 1.46, and strict, M 1.40. Research question 2. Which characteristics do the 12th graders regard to be the most important ones in the identification of effective teacher? The scores relate to the characteristics of an effective teacher retrieved from the answers of the 12th graders are present in Table 3. Look at the table. Table 3 presents the participants' scores in a descending order. According to the table, the highest values were attached to the characteristics of make students feel relaxed, M 3.80, and manage class effectively, M 3.80, while the lowest values were attached to the characteristics of gives homework, M 1.74, and strict, M 1.56. Which characteristics are commonly regarded to be the most important ones in the identification of an effective teacher? The scores relate to the characteristics of an effective teacher retrieved from the answer of all participants are present in Table 4. Look at the table. Table 4 presents the participants' mean scores in a descending order. According to the table, the highest values were attached to the characteristics of having good pronunciation, M 3.74, and friendly, M 3.55, while the lowest values were attached to the characteristics of has lived in foreign country, M 1.71, and strict, M 1.48. Research question 4. Does the perception of an effective teacher differ with reference to class? In order to answer the first research questions, we compared the answer of the participants from 2 different grades by means of an independent sample t-test. Table 5 presents the results of the independent sample t-test. Look at the table. Although descriptive statistics highlight difference related to individual items in the answers of the 6th and 12th grades, as indicated in Table 5, the results of the independent samples t-test over the mean values did not indicate statistically significant difference between the 6th graders. M equals 2.92, SD equals 0.41, and the 12th graders, M equals 2.85, SD equals 0.39. Perceptions about the characteristics of an effective teacher, T 98 equals 0.987, P greater than 0.5. Research question 5. Is there a gender difference in the perception of an effective teacher? In order to answer the 5 research question, we compare the participants' scores in 2 different grades by means of an independent sample t-test. Table 5 presents the results of the present independent samples t-test. In order to answer the 5th research question, an independent sample t-test was conducted to the mean values of female and male participants. Table 6 presents the results of the independent sample t-test. Look at the table. As detailed in Table 6, the result of the independent sample t-test did not indicate statistically significant difference between the female participants. M equals 2.93, SD equals 0.42, and the male participants M equals 2.85, SD equals 0.38. Perceptions about the characteristics of an effective teacher G 98 equals 1.01, B greater than 0.5.
Okay guys, next I will explain the material in the last part about discussion, conclusion, and implication. So, let's get started. As our findings indicate, firstly, the participants had different perceptions about an effective teacher's characteristics. For example, with regard to the pedagogical part of the inventory, students from 2 different grades would rather value their teacher good pronunciation skill in English. Regarding the lack of oral EFL practice skills in Turkish state schools, this finding seems to be of utter importance. In accordance with the participants' expectations from an effective teacher, it can be inferred that students also expect more exposure to the target language in a correct way. Therefore, EFL teachers should be careful about their pronunciation with a specific emphasis on their fossilicid pronunciation errors. Avoiding such errors will enable EFL learners to have fast exposure to correct English language, which will result in more productive language skills on a long-term basis. In Turkey, the 12th grade student gave more importance to personal qualities of a teacher than the 6th graders. The teacher's personal qualities prove to have a vital importance not only for an effective language teaching, but also for the moral development of students. Since teenagers aim to find the personality or identity during their high school years, serving as a proper role model to the students should become the teacher's paramount professional aim. In his study, Thompson, 2008, supports the importance of the teacher's personal qualities by stating that an effective teacher blends well-built teaching skill with good character traits. Such teachers have a key role in becoming and being friendly pedagogues. Consequently, friendliness as opposed to strictness becomes a basic characteristic that any effective teacher should possess. In the same line of thought, Ross 1996, Sisavan and Sadeghi 2009, and Thompson 2008 highlight the importance of an effective teacher has personal traits. For example, Sisavan and Sadeghi argue that being of good character and behaving with the students in a friendly manner is very important for a teacher to be effective. This enables learners to study in a non-threatening environment that will have a positive impact on language learning. In addition to the studies, Clark and Walsh 2002 and Chung 2006 also highlight to the importance of creating a positive relationship with students as an essential quality of an effective teacher. In this respect, the teacher should be aware of their behavior with students since it plays a significant role in setting a healthy environment for teaching and learning. The participant has replies pinpoint the importance of effective classroom management skills. Students from two different grades regard teacher as effective if they were able to manage the classroom effectively. This implies that they expect their teacher to plan their lessons correctly. Then they should follow the procedure that they were familiar with, relying on their lesson plans. Motivation is believed to be an important component both in language learning and in the teaching process. At the first phase, EFL teachers are responsible for motivating themselves to be enthusiastic during their own lessons. This will encourage them to motivate their learners better in order to learn English. By considering the recent developments in technology, it will not be possible to design an effective language learning environment without benefiting from technological devices such as computers, projectors, smartboards, etc. Recently, almost every EFL learner may be regarded as a digital native, therefore they expect their teachers to incorporate such technological devices into their classes. Implementing such appropriate devices is helpful both in intensive and in extensive practice. They may also be regarded as useful for motivating students by driving their attention. In the previous language teaching methods, teachers had an active role. However, such a perception does not seem to be relevant any longer. For example, the results of the present study highlight the fact that learners expect their teachers to design activities that require collaboration, such as group work and pair work. This is a qualification related to the professional quality of the teacher. Teachers should also consider the variations of the English language. The results indicate that students have the ambition to familiarize themselves not only with formal English but also with the informal language. It means that they prefer the communicative function of the English language. If their only exposure to the target language is restricted to the formal instead, then they might experience difficulty in communication in informal environments. Therefore, in order to meet their students' expectations, teachers may benefit from authentic materials in classroom. Teachers should also pay attention to the process of teaching grammar. Previously, language teaching methods regard accuracy as being clearly superior to fluency. However, this is not the case in contemporary EFL classrooms. Although producing grammatically correct sentences is an important skill for any language learner, becoming a fluent speaker of the target language proves more important. Therefore, teachers need to provide exposure to the target language syntax in an inductive way. This will permit learners to discover the accuracy rules on their own. In addition to the characteristics that are highly appreciated by their learners, EFL teachers should also familiarize themselves with the characteristics that should be avoided. The results of the present study indicate that students do not wish their teachers to be strict in the classroom. This is an expectation parallel to the humanistic approach. In case of establishing closer contact with the students by avoiding strictness and harshness, teachers may develop better relations with their students, and this will result in their students' higher performance. By considering all the aforementioned findings and discussions, it is possible to conclude the following characteristics of an effective EFL teacher. Thus, an effective EFL teacher should master good or excellent English pronunciation. He should provide his students with a friendly classroom atmosphere, have good classroom management skills, be enthusiastic and patient, and integrate technology and visual materials into his pedagogical art.
Jadi, dengan mempertimbangkan semua temuan dan diskusi yang telah dijelaskan, kita dapat menarik kesimpulan bahwa karakteristik guru EFL yang efektif harus menguasai pengucapan bahasa Inggris yang baik atau sangat baik. Ia harus memberikan murid-muridnya sikap yang ramah dalam suasana kelas, memiliki keterampilan manajemen kelas yang baik, antusias dan sabar, serta mengintegrasikan teknologi dan materi visual ke dalam tindakan pedagogisnya.